Whoa, whoa, whoa. Congratulations. Look, just stay right there. Look, I know that you want to use Bixby, but you've tried in the past and it just hasn't worked out. But together, we're going to master Bixby like a boss. And we're starting right now. Hi, I'm Mormon Beckles, aka the High Tech Nomad, and welcome to another video. As I always say, I make these videos because there's a lot of really good technology out there, but sometimes it's complicated to understand and complicated to apply. And today's subject is no exception. In fact, it is the poster child for what I just said. Be sure to stay to the end of the video because I'm going to show you one of the Bixby commands that is absolutely phenomenal. So be sure to stay for that in the end. Samsung's Bixby is an incredibly powerful program. Unfortunately, it is also incredibly ignored. Now, a lot of this is Samsung's fault. Before Bixby came along, we had Samsung Voice. And while the S was supposed to stand for Samsung, many of us felt that the S stood for something else. Its voice recognition accuracy rate compared to its contemporaries was horrible. It was almost like a Saturday Night Live skit where you would ask it something and it would try to answer and it would say the wrong word and you'd try again. Many users quickly decided that this thing was not worth using. In Samsung's defense, they went out and purchased a company in order to obtain the Bixby technology. By doing so, in a very short amount of time, they were able to really improve the quality of the product. Bixby is still very powerful and it's worth using. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Bixby commands. The first thing we want to do is make sure that we have this key set as the Bixby key, which it should already unless you've changed it. But let's go over that again. You're going to go into your notifications, go to settings, go to advanced features, and go to side key. Right now I have it set that when I push this key twice, I will automatically go into the camera, which I suggest you leave it at. If I push and hold, I'm going into Bixby. When you use Bixby in this manner on the phone, you have to push and hold it. They do have a way that you can just have it always listening and you can yell to it. I'm not as thrilled with that. I find the recognition rejection rate is not acceptable, plus there's a lot of false positives. So I just have it that I must push this key in order to go into Bixby. So these first ones have to do with the camera. I'm going to go ahead and say, take a picture. Goes in, takes a picture. Whatever lens I have it left on is how it will take it. So if I leave it like that, take a picture. If I do specifically want a selfie, take a selfie. And take a video. Take a video. And again, it will stick with whatever lens you have. So if you were on the rear lens, it will record from the rear lens. Just an easy way, you know, something's going on and you're like, oh, I got to take a picture of this. Take a picture. Just a nice, easy way to take a picture without fumbling around. We can control the phone. We can very easily push and hold it and either say a number or a name. Call 212-555-1212.
Just a moment while I call 2125.
And you can see that you have a few seconds to hit cancel in case you misspeak. You can go by name. Call Napoleon Solo.
Calling Napoleon Solo.
You can see what calls you've missed. Show missed calls.
There aren't any missed calls from the last 3 days.
That's the way I roll. Show recent calls.
You've had 8 calls in the past 3 days.
These next ones have to do with the gallery, so let's open it. Open gallery. I do want to take a second to point out that I have set a thumbnail image for each album in my gallery so that it always stays the same. If you want to figure out how to do that, take a look at the video that I did on making a default thumbnail for the gallery. I can open the gallery, or I could simply say, show me my pictures. It just goes right in there, gives me a nice little thumbnail view. Different thumbnail view, you'll notice that they're a lot smaller. Now I can choose specific pictures. Show me pictures of dogs. So it's now showing me pictures of dogs. And I couldn't understand why it had all these other pictures, because clearly there's not a dog in there. But oh, wait, I was at Pink's Hot Dogs in Los Angeles, and it decided that it knew where I was because of the information in the header, and it knew it said Pink's Hot Dogs, so it grouped that together with dogs. So you can pick out specific images, you can pick out specific places, you can pick out specific times. Show me the pictures I took last Thursday. Boom. Show me pictures I took in January 2018. Boom. Again, that's a very easy way to find pictures that you're looking for. You can go by location. Show me pictures from Berlin. There we go. The Hotel Zoo in Berlin. I love that place. You can use all of those commands to very easily get to a picture. Let's go back to the dogs again. Show me pictures of dogs. Okay. And you could also share or edit the picture. You could say, edit picture. And it brings it into edit mode. Now, yes, you could just hit this little edit button, but some people don't always remember what that is. And that's another reason that it's just easier sometimes to just say it. Edit picture. Boom. All right, right into the editor there. And you can also share it the same way. Share picture. It'll then bring up your share menu with all the different ways that you can share it. Now that's as much as you can do share-wise with Bixby right now. From time to time, they do make it that you can say share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter. However, as I mentioned, they add features, take away, add features, take away. Right now, those aren't working, but you can just say share picture and it will always bring up that share menu. These have to do with location. A lot of times you're out and about and you want to try and find something, so you can use this to find things. For example, where is the nearest pizza parlor?
Which capsule would you like to use?
Now, when it says capsule, it's asking you basically which service or which app to use. You have a choice between Yellow Pages and Yelp. In my honest opinion, the Yellow Pages is absolutely horrible. And I say that, I don't want to be mean, but it just doesn't work that well. Probably because they're not covering enough information, whereas Yelp is crowdsourced. People are putting in their favorite restaurants all the time.
What are the closest matches?
So by doing that, it's more accurate. Where is the nearest public bathroom?
Here are the closest matches.
And that is actually quite correct. However, if I was using Yellow Pages and I asked for the nearest bathroom, it would show me the nearest bathroom, and it shows it to me in Boston, which is like 20 miles away. So it's just like, what, are you kidding me? Where is the nearest gas station?
Here are the closest matches.
All right. You can also use the location services to get you there. Directions to nearest pizza parlor. Now, obviously, I have one that's a little closer than that, but I have messed with my location a little bit so that I can remain a man of mystery. You can also use it to say something specific. Directions to Micro Center. I really like the calendar ones as well. You can start the new calendar routine by simply saying new appointment or create a new appointment and then fill in the information. Very similar to what we had with the text message. So, new appointment.
What date is this event on?
October 21st.
What should I name this event?
Test Event 1.
Are you ready to save this event?
All right. Now, if I'd given it a time, it would have put the time in as well. Go ahead and I'll cancel that.
Okay, I won't do anything.
You can put, like the text message, the more information you put in the command, the better. So I can say, create a new appointment on October 21st at 6 p.m.
What should I name this event?
Test event 2.
Would you like to save this event?
So it has all the information in there and ready to go. So I found that to be extremely helpful. It will then add that to your calendar. One note is that it will save it to the My Calendar, which is part of your phone, not necessarily your Google Calendar or your Exchange calendar. If you want to know how to sync up those calendars, check out the video that I did on how to sync up your calendar so that they all stay in sync. You can also do things like say, what's my schedule for today?
I see 5 events today. Today at 10 a.m. audio blocks.
And again, I can swipe down and swipe up to get it to stop reading it to me. You also see I have some quick ones down the bottom. Show me my schedule for tomorrow. Open my calendar. Cancel today's schedule. You know, something happens and I want to cancel those. And you can even change things. Weather's always a cool one. If you'll excuse the pun. What's the weather like today?
The forecast for today in Malden, Massachusetts, during the day, sunshine and some clouds with a temperature of 65. At night, considerable cloudiness with a shower in spots late with a temperature of 52.
You can ask it for dates in the future. What will the weather be like on October 31st?
The forecast for October 31st in Malden, Massachusetts, during the day, plenty of sunshine with a temperature of 61. At night, partly cloudy with a couple of showers with a temperature of 45 and a real feel of 35.
You can ask it questions like, will it rain on Thursday?
I don't see any rain in the forecast for Malden, Massachusetts.
Or even something like, do I need an umbrella next Wednesday?
The forecast for October 7th in Malden, Massachusetts, during the day, mostly cloudy with a shower in places in the afternoon with a temperature of 72. At night, mainly clear with a temperature of 53.
You can actually open any app on your phone by simply saying the name. Open Twitter. Open Among Us. You can also open some programs and give it additional information, like YouTube. Open YouTube. Open YouTube and search for parakeets. Open YouTube and search for Hotel Zoo Berlin. People have trouble navigating the settings or turning things on and off. I'll ask somebody, is Wi-Fi turned on? Is Bluetooth turned on? And it's difficult sometimes for them to figure it out. Well, you can do that through Bixby. Open Settings. And you can drill down one level more. So I could say, Open Settings, go to Advanced Features. And you can see I'm right there at Advanced Features. Now I can't get any lower than that, so I would have to tap on Side Key, but again, that will save you a couple of steps. You can also turn on and off features. Turn off Wi-Fi.
Okay, turning Wi-Fi off. I won't be able to help you while mobile data and Wi-Fi are both off.
Okay. Turn on Bluetooth.
Bluetooth is on already.
I don't even like the tone that it just had. Bluetooth is on already. Turn on Wi-Fi.
Okay, I turned on the Wi-Fi.
Where I mostly use this is when I'm on a plane. I can quickly go into airplane mode. You know, they're like, okay, we're done. I can just say, turn on airplane mode. It goes in airplane mode. I'm fine. I will have to manually take it out of airplane mode because, as it says, if it can't reach the internet, it's going to have a little bit of trouble responding to some of the things that you've asked. But also things like the blue light filter. Turn on blue light filter.
The blue light filter is now on.
Turn off blue light filter,
The blue light filter is now off.
as well as things like do not disturb and the ever popular flashlight. Flashlight on.
All right, I turned it on.
Flashlight off. Oh, gotta make sure I'm on the. Gotta make sure I'm turned this way. Flashlight off.
Got it. I've turned it on.
Creating a new contact, you're talking to somebody in the street and they give you their information and you're trying to put it in the phone. Using Bixby is a lot easier than going into the contact. The problem is you have to say it exactly the way Bixby wants to hear it in order for it to work. I'm going to give you an example. New contact, John Smith, phone number 617-555-1212.
What name should I save this number as?
It's like, I just told you. So I could stand here for a half an hour and show you the wrong way to do it because it is extremely finicky. I've written it down. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. It's also in the document. You must say, create a new contact named, and then give the name, and then say with the phone number, and then give the phone number. Create a new contact named John Smith with a phone number 617-555-1212.
Do you want to save this?
If you do it that way, this will work every time. It's worth practicing that a couple of times so that you get it down pat, and then from then on, it's just going to be so much easier. Text messages work similar to the calendar, where once you start it, it will have a little dialogue with you. You can do it that way, or you can give it more information, and the more information you give, the more it will not ask you. I could just say, new text message.
Who should I send this message to?
Remember, I have to push the button and hold it each time I want to respond. Napoleon Solo.
What would you like the message for Napoleon Solo to say?
Please meet me in Mr. Waverly's office at 6 p.m.
Would you like me to send this message?
And then I could say yes, and it would go ahead and send it. Now,
Okay,
I can...
I won't do it.
Thank you. I can add more of the message in the command, and it will do it. New message to Napoleon Solo.
What would you like the message for Napoleon Solo to say?
So I didn't have to do all that, and now I can put the message in. Meet me in Mr. Waverly's office at 6 p.m.
Would you like me to send this message?
And again, it's always giving me a chance to review it before it actually sends it. So if I mess up, I can change it.
Okay, I won't.
And now we'll try to do the whole thing. New text message to Napoleon Solo. Meet me in Mr. Waverly's office at 6 p.m. tonight. Thank you.
Do you want to send this message?
So you can see with a little bit of practice, this is a lot easier to send text messages this way. You can have it read your messages to you. Read my last text message.
Here's the message. Message is from Walgreens, Malden at 11:28.
Again, while it's reading, if you want it to stop, just swipe down and swipe up. I promised you if you stayed to the end of the video that I would give you one more command that I think is probably the best command out of all of the commands that I found for Bixby. Let's take a look at location reminders. This next one is very powerful. However, it does take a little bit of setup, and that is the reminders. Let's go in and take a look. Open reminders. As you can see, I don't have any here. I can go ahead and I can write them in, and I can do the standard stuff that you would expect. Remind me at 1 p.m. to buy a goat.
Done. Reminder saved.
Open reminders. And there it is there, and I have a little checkbox and I'm all set, and will go off at 1 p.m. But where I find this the most powerful is that you can do location-based ones. So for example, I can say, remind me to buy Raspberry Pi computers when I arrive at Micro Center.
I saved your reminder without the place, as it isn't saved in your account.
See, so you have to save, you have to go in and put where the item, where the place is before you can use it. So to do that, you're going to open Reminders. Open Reminders. You're going to click on the menu bar. You're going to go to Settings, and then you'll have Places. And then under Places, you can add all of your places. So for example, let's go ahead and add a place. Other. I'm going to go ahead and add Micro Center. I can either put in the actual address, or I can just put the name in and it will search the database and see if it can find it. It found it. Go ahead and click on it. You have the ability to also add their Wi-Fi network, meaning if you were there or you knew what it was, you can add it. It's just another way for it to be absolutely sure you're at that location. I only do that for a few places. I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And now that'll be in the list. So now let's go ahead and try that again. Remind me to pick up a 9-watt power supply when I arrive at Micro Center.
Sure, it's been saved.
So now you see it says when I arrive at this location, and when you get to that location, your phone will buzz and it'll play a nice chime, and you can set that chime. I find that extremely helpful because I have to-do lists, I have reminders all the time, pick up this, pick up that, and then I get to the place and I just totally forget what it was I was supposed to pick up, and I don't look at my phone. This way my phone is now going to jump and ring and let me know that I'm supposed to do something. You can set it to remind you of it at a specific time. You can ask it to remind you of something when you arrive at a specific place, or you can say to remind you when you leave a specific place. So for example, remind me to go to the gas station when I leave home.
I've saved that reminder.
So when I leave the house now and I get within 2 blocks of my house, it'll go off and it'll remind me to get gas. You would think that the gauge in the car would remind me to get gas, but no, I need a little extra help. So, which Bixby command did you find the most helpful? Which one are you going to start using now? Put a comment down below. Also, check in the links below. I'm going to have an updated list of Bixby commands that I'll keep up to date as often as I can. So go ahead and check that out. And as always, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, click that like button, and smash that subscriber button. We're almost at 10,000, but we need your help. Until the next time, this is Orman Beckles, aka the High Tech Nomad, signing out.